Hey everyone, and welcome to this premium educational note. We're going to treat our time together today like a global masterclass on decoding the XAUUSD market. We're talking about unlocking entirely new streams of digital income. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through this because we aren't just looking at charts today, right? We are looking at the actual architecture of modern wealth creation. So whether you're a freelancer looking to diversify, maybe a startup founder building capital, or just someone ready to master a totally future-proof skill, you are definitely in the right place.
So think about this. What if you could actually decode the heartbeat of the entire global economy? Seriously, gold isn't just a shiny piece of metal. It's the ultimate historical store of value. And then you have the US dollar, which is literally the engine of global commerce. When you put those two together, you get this incredibly dynamic, high-volume market that offers massive wealth-building potential. And honestly, the best part about this market, it completely doesn't care if you're working from a high-rise office in Manhattan or a tiny coffee shop in Bali. Once you understand the rhythm of these global movements, you unlock a highly scalable skill that operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's a real game changer.
Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today's session. We'll start with the XAUUSD opportunity, then decode gold versus the dollar. After that, we'll hit the core formula mechanics, real-world workflows, dive into AI and automation, and wrap up with your next actionable steps. We're going from the absolute basics all the way to future-ready tech. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the XAUUSD opportunity, or what I like to call the future of digital income.
First things first, I really want you to reframe how you think about trading. You've got to treat it as digital entrepreneurship. Gone are the days when trading was this exclusive club for Wall Street insiders in fancy suits. By leveraging modern technology, high-speed internet, and a really strict formulaic approach, trading transforms into a super accessible, scalable business opportunity. If you're a creator, a freelancer, or running a side hustle, approaching the XAUUSD market with a true business owner's mindset means you're building a sovereign income stream. You are the CEO, the risk manager, and the executor of your very own digital enterprise.
Moving right along to Section 2, decoding gold versus dollar. Think of this as the financial seesaw.
To start, we need to know what it is we're actually trading. XAUUSD is simply the universal financial ticker symbol for gold priced in US dollars. XAU is just the standard code for 1 troy ounce of physical gold, and USD is, you guessed it, the US dollar. So when you pull up a chart and you see XAUUSD priced at, say, 2,000, it just means it takes exactly 2,000 US dollars to buy 1 ounce of gold at that exact split second. And that number, it fluctuates constantly based on global supply, demand, and economic health. That fluctuation, that volatility, is exactly what digital entrepreneurs can monetize.
A great way to understand this is to think of the dynamic between these two assets as a massive global financial seesaw. On one end, you've got XAU, gold. It's a physical safe haven entirely driven by scarcity. When the world panics, investors tend to flock straight to gold. On the other end of the seesaw is the USD, a fiat currency driven by government policy and interest rates. Generally speaking, when the US dollar gets incredibly strong, maybe because of high interest rates, the price of gold drops. The seesaw tips. Conversely, if inflation spikes or the dollar weakens, the value of gold typically shoots up. Getting a solid grasp on this inverse relationship is how you decode the broader macroeconomic picture.
All right, Section 3, core mechanics of the formula. This is where the blueprint gets revealed. As someone who's actively in the markets, I can tell you there's an exact 4-step workflow you've got to master. Step 1, analyze macro trends. You look at the big picture. What is our global seesaw doing today? Step 2, identify key market zones. We're scanning for historical areas where buyers and sellers have previously battled it out. These are your support and resistance levels. Step 3, confirm price action. We never, ever blindly jump in. We wait for the market to give us a specific, recognizable pattern that actually proves our zone is holding. And finally, Step 4, execute the system. You pull the trigger without hesitation simply because the formula told you to. But listen, executing the system is absolutely useless if you don't have strict rules of engagement. Think about it. If you're building a modern SaaS business or an e-commerce store, you need inventory management and loss prevention, right? Well, in digital trading, your stop loss is your loss prevention. Notice how our entry strategy demands rule-based confirmation? Our stop loss mandates strict capital protection, and our take profits are based purely on hard data, not greed or emotion. Sticking to this strict, almost robotic process is exactly what separates a successful digital business from pure casino gambling. Let's break down an optimal risk-to-reward ratio of 1 to 3. This right here is the core mathematical driver of sustainable digital monetization.
Basically, it means for every 1 unit of capital you risk, your minimum target is 3 units of reward. If you're risking $10, you are aiming to make 30. Why is this so incredibly profound? Well, mathematically speaking, with a 1-to-3 ratio, you can actually be wrong on more than half of your trades and your account will still grow. No way, right? But it's true. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be incredibly disciplined.
Let's transition into Section 4, real-world trading workflows and how to build systems for success. If you take nothing else away from this, write this down: process over prediction. As we just saw with our core mechanics and risk ratios, your job is not to possess some magical crystal ball. You absolutely cannot predict the future of the global economy. Your one and only job as a digital entrepreneur here is to perfectly execute your daily process. Over a large enough sample size of trades, a well-executed process yields a predictable, highly monetizable outcome. So, what does that daily process look like? Think of it like the operating hours of a global e-commerce business. You start with pre-market prep, reviewing the news, drawing out your zones. Then comes the London session, where European volume creates those initial trends. Next up is the golden window, the New York overlap. This provides the highest liquidity and honestly the best opportunities for the XAUUSD formula. Finally, you wrap up with a post-market review to journal your trades and prep for tomorrow. It is a highly organized, totally professional loop.
Now we're entering Section 5, AI and trading automation. This is your tech advantage.
I absolutely love this part. Listen, you do not need to sit there staring at a screen for 10 hours a day anymore. By using smart tools, you can automate almost all of the heavy lifting. AI chart pattern recognition can instantly scan thousands of data points to find those key market zones we talked about. Automated alert systems will ping your phone only when your specific entry rules are finally met. Algorithmic risk management can calculate your 1-to-3 ratio and set your stop loss the exact millisecond you enter a trade. And smart backtesting software, it lets you simulate years of trading data in literal minutes to prove your formula works. These tools are amazing because they free up your most valuable asset, your time.
There's a quote I love to share: "Automation turns a trading strategy into a scalable digital asset." As someone who's been doing this a while, I can promise you this digital transformation is the key to longevity. When you take a robust, time-tested formula like the XAUUSD blueprint and combine it with cutting-edge AI and automation, you stop being a manual laborer in the markets. You become a digital architect. You're building a system that works for you, scaling your income potential without chaining you to a desk. Let's bring it all home with Section 6, your next actionable steps. It's time to launch that digital income. Okay, so here is your incredibly simple, completely actionable launchpad. Step 1. Open a demo environment. This is a totally risk-free simulator where you trade with fake money just to get a feel for the software. Step 2. Practice the core formula. Execute that 4-step blueprint over and over again until it's pure muscle memory. Step 3. Integrate smart AI tools. Get your alerts and algorithmic risk calculators set up to streamline your workflow. And finally, Step 4, transition to live markets. Start with a small, super manageable amount of capital. You are entirely capable of executing this step-by-step rollout, I promise you.
And this brings us to the single most important takeaway from our entire session today: the power of one. You don't need to master 50 different trading strategies. You certainly don't need to trade stocks, crypto, options, and bonds all at the exact same time. You only need one proven system, executed with one asset, like XAUUSD, to unlock massive career and wealth-building opportunities in the digital age. Focus is absolutely your superpower here.
So here's my final question for you. You understand the mechanics now, you know the risk management, the daily workflow, and you see the massive leverage that AI and automation can provide. You've got the blueprint. So what are you going to build? Are you going to build a side income? Maybe fund a startup? Or maybe design a life of total location independence? The digital economy is waiting, the global markets are wide open, and you are now totally armed with the knowledge to thrive in them. Get out there, start practicing, and let's go build something incredible.